Well, terrific. Well, thanks all for joining us today to learn the get to know the Healthcare Advocate Summit, being an inaugural first time event that was, like many, paused due to COVID 2020. We are committed to a live event. We're moving forward with a live event. We'll talk about what we're doing differently. We're going to talk a little bit about our hybrid event as well as a true virtual platform to feed the live event. So we've got solutions all across the board. So with that, I'll get started. I think it's important to address the formation of the community that we're addressing here. There's a desire to be essential. The dedicated healthcare providers are essential to maintaining strong and productive lives, economies, and societies. And when we founded the association of NMAPA and we founded the Healthcare Advocate Summit, we had these goals and this why at the foundation of the event. It's access to life-saving medicines and therapeutics that are essential to all of our well-beings. We have to stop navigating the treacherous sea of often confusing information and the processes to provide patients with resources that they need. This is at our core. This is our why. It's nobody's fault, but it is our responsibility. We've claimed it as ours and have the opportunity to be essential in making a difference. I'm not going to read slide after slide after slide, but the first two or three, I feel are really important. And it really defines why we're here and why this show was created. Healthcare advocates are bridging the gap, helping patients access the medicines they need and resources that they deserve, guiding providers on how to make healthcare more efficient and effective for all. In hospitals, pharmacies, and institutions across the country, healthcare advocates tirelessly fight on behalf of patients at risk of being underserved as a result of confusing policies, complicated processes, and ever-changing regulations. Healthcare advocates are becoming recognized as valuable problem solvers who have the potential to transform the quality of the healthcare system. I'm going to say that again because I just think that sentence really brings home why this event is so essential and so necessary. Healthcare advocates are becoming recognized as valuable problem solvers. I think that's critically important. Healthcare advocates deserve respect, recognition, and support as vital contributors and valued experts within the healthcare profession. And that is why the inaugural Healthcare Advocate Summit is all about meeting the needs of those who advocate for patients on their journey to wellness and celebrating the role advocates play in fulfilling the promise of the healthcare industry to the people it serves. And Liz, I don't know if you want to talk to your experience about attending different events and really why we thought that this healthcare advocate show is just critically important.
Sure, absolutely. So just a quick hello from me. I'm Elizabeth, and I'm here on behalf of NMAPA, and as an organization that is working with advocates and really working to help with education and resources for this group that I myself have been in for the last 10 years, coming together and working on this conference to celebrate our achievements, celebrate the hard work we do every day. It's great. And, other conferences you hear, hey, thanks for all you do, but thanks is appreciated. We like it, but how do we get to more successes? How do we build connections and bridges and really learn so we can help our patients? So the necessity for a conference like this, having somewhere that I can go to speak to others, to learn new things, just because I do it one way doesn't mean it's the right way or the best. And to be able to hear how others do it will really bring people together, but also make me a stronger advocate as well.
Terrific. So here it is, at last, an event for advocates by advocates. And that's really been our mainstay, our rally cry moving forward, for advocates by advocates. And we're really excited to put this conference together. It started off as a 2-day event, and it just grew into a 3-day event. And we're gonna detail some of the highlights as we move forward. Liz?
Absolutely. So this is a place where we can bring together all different walks of life in this journey, right? There's different names, different titles. There's no real standardization for who does this role. Sometimes it's your front desk. Sometimes it's a clerk in medical records. Sometimes you have a whole dedicated financial navigation team, or a whole biologics team. It just depends. There's not a one size fits all or a one description title for this. So this conference is bringing together those that have the passion and the dedication to their patients, who we tie a nice bow on it with saying advocates, but from all different specialties: hospitals, outpatient, private practice, single provider to multi-provider to national. And it's giving them and us a platform to speak about our challenges, speak about our dreams, where we want to see this going, and then how we can support that. So pharmaceutical companies, healthcare industry leaders, the manufacturer programs, the reimbursement managers, pharmacies. We all work with pharmacies, and then the foundations and grants. And I know that depending on what part of this you're in, you may be more proficient at others. This is a great chance to collaborate, meet new people, and really expand your networking and connections through that. And so that pretty face you see on the slide here is Natalie Foss, and she is the chair of our conference, an advocate herself, still in the trenches day in and day out. And, you know, in the time that I've gotten to know her between NMAPA and the Healthcare Advocate Summit, I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot of terms and different ways to work on access as far as grants go. So I can't wait to be able to collaborate live with her, but for other people to hear. I feel that there's different learning types. And so that collaboration live really could inspire and lead others to some other things. So that is our dear Natalie, and we are very excited to have her. So who all's coming besides Natalie and myself and Eric? We've got the majority of it are our advocates, and that's who this whole thing is created for. We've got technology solutions, as I said, pharmacies, foundations, and field reimbursement. But our goal has always been to cater to the advocates, cater to those doing the job, and then find those that support the advocates in that role. So we're excited at the mix that we have. I'm really excited to see a large amount of field reimbursement there. There's definitely some connections that can be built through that. And so, as Eric said, this went from a 2-day event to a 3-day event because we couldn't quite possibly get everything we needed to in 2 days. And there's so much education and opportunity there. So the extra day was added, and that is Wednesday. I am the director of education for the conference. So I am really getting to dive in and look at what's needed for this. And it's not a one size fits all thing. Again, we've got coders, we've got clinical staff, we've got pharmacy staff. So how can we help those who are attending? So on Wednesday, we're having an education day, and we are in the process of obtaining CEUs for the presentations that we're going to put on. And not just CEUs for nurses. We're looking at pharmacy CEUs, and we're working on coding CEUs. So those of us that have multiple different certifications have the potential to acquire multiple CEUs to help us out, which is really exciting. I know that I personally struggle between clinical and coding and trying to track both of those down. So I'm relieved to be able to have both. We'll also be hosting advisory boards that day. There's a limited number, and we have quite a bit of interest already from several manufacturers and on various topics, whether it's market access, whether it is reimbursement. We're bringing advocates together, those that do this every day. So it's the best opportunity to empower them to start working with pharmaceutical companies, but to also get pharmaceutical companies the information they need to get people to speak up and to get the most value out of their advisory boards. So I'm thrilled to be able to participate in that. And then Eric, you have joined our team with a great background, and I'd love for you to kind of dive into that a little bit to explain how we have developed this day 1 and 2. Really, it's day 2 and 3 now.
Yeah, thank you. Excited. I have a long 25 plus year history in events and marketing and creating activations, bringing brands to life, experiential marketing, and that's all fun stuff. And it's 5 cents driven. And when we went to the audience, to the community out there, we said, We have an exhibit advisory committee we put together, and we asked a lot of questions, a lot of discovery. What do you like? What don't you like? And we built this event around best practices, and really the desire of the community and what they want, and and avoid what they don't want. We jumped in, when you talked about the CEU and Education Day, that was a demand from the community. We didn't anticipate having such a need for this higher education. The community came back and said they wanted it. Here it is. We delivered it. We're going to bring it to them. At the end of the day, there's a fantastic happy hour and a welcome reception we're planning. We've got some really exciting events that will show off the city of Galveston, the Galveston Island, and its uniqueness, and why the destination was chosen. It's going to be a ton of fun. For those that don't over imbibe on the first day, there's a fun run the second day at 6 a.m. So we'll start off with a fun run to get the blood pumping. Networking cafe, we'll get to a little more detail about what entails there. But we have keynote sessions. We have designed a stage that we'll present to you shortly, a keynote stage, innovation zones. We have an exhibit floor. We have something really unique that's called the Advocate Challenge. And what we found when we did some deep diving into other events was that people really want networking. They want networking. I want to go to network. Exhibitors, attendees, everyone's involved with this show or any show. What they want out of it is networking first and foremost. So let's start the networking from the moment you get off the shuttle bus from Houston, is where most people fly into Galveston. A networking opportunity where you get to engage, solve problems, and meet new people right off the plane. As we get to the actual event and we start to learn about who we are, we have an advocate challenge. And what we found was that most people network the best when they get out of their comfort zones at the end of the conference. Gosh, I wish I'd been more outgoing in the beginning of the conference. I tend to go to my comfort zone, the people that I know, the people I work with, and the existing customers that I have. That's where people retreat to. So with the Advocate Challenge, we're putting people strategically in groups and tasking them to solve problems. Get in a group of 10, 15 people, meet new people right off the bat. You have some things in common, figure it out. We're going to pose a challenge to you. You have to go to the innovation zones. You have to attend the conferences, those keynotes. You have to go through all the poster sessions, visit the exhibits, all these things that are activations on the floor that you learn solutions to your challenge. And as we meet throughout the day and into our second day, at the end, we'll take the top 4 groups, we'll announce their challenge, they'll get up to present and bring the whole community together. So that Advocate Challenge is something really unique where we're creating a forced networking. We're going to network from the beginning. As people retreat to the social activities, and again, we have another reception on the end of Thursday night, they're going to go back to their comfort zone. They're going to network and they're going to have fun with their comfort zones, their existing customers, their coworkers. Hopefully, our strategy is that they will bring these new relationships into those conversations, and it'll be to double and triple and quadruple the networking opportunities that you're going to have. So we're really excited about the Advocate Challenge. It's not going to be this time-consuming, but it's going to force you to experience the floor and experience the solutions that are out there. Let's talk about the exhibit floor. We have the 55,000 square foot exhibit floor at the Galveston Island Convention Center, and they've given us all the space there. When our exhibitor advisory board came back to us and said, gosh, we don't like when the keynotes run and everyone leaves and we don't know if they're coming back, and we just hope that they do, and we're stuck in here by ourselves doing nothing. So we took the keynote session and we dropped it in the middle of the exhibit floor. This creates the community. This brings us all together. This makes us all equals, and is very unique opportunity, because you don't really see the keynote session right in the middle of your exhibit floor very often. The summit goals, networking, number 1 through every aspect, every activation that we have, networking is number 1. Best practices, technology, higher learning, career development, and we'll dive into each one of those activations. So as you see on the screen here, you have our theater in the round. You have our innovation zone to the left. the networking cafe, upper right-hand corner, and then our career development center over to the right in green. So let's dive into each one of those particular areas that we think makes us very unique. There's our theater. It's a networking style approach. Again, our number one goal is networking, and having that approach and having everyone in one group in a round atmosphere is something that we feel is very exciting. Will we have to train our speakers? Absolutely, we will. We'll train them to be versatile in speaking in an atmosphere of such a way. We have monitors hanging so that we can see, the audience can see the face of the presenter at all times, and we've taken all those precautions into account. It's a community atmosphere. Everyone's equal. Exhibitors, attendees, advocates, physicians, facilities, everywhere. Everyone comes in, sits together at a round table. Tremendous audience interaction, training our speakers to how to ask questions, how to get responses, how to move on the fly. That's something that we think is going to be really, really important. And most importantly, our high-level keynotes are going to be 4 sessions, 3 on day one and 1 on the second day of the summit. And we're going to address level, because our event is all therapeutics and all disease states. We need to make sure that we're addressing the big picture for our keynote sessions. Not to compete with the keynote sessions at any time is our innovation zone. This is where we have TED Talk style. Oh, I'm sorry, Liz. Networking, number one. Again, first and foremost, most important part of the innovation zone, again, is hitting that networking and providing opportunities for people to collaborate. TED Talk style sessions, we have 10 scheduled over those 2 days of the summit, 15 minutes each. Education, more focused on more vertical solutions, where our keynote is more 30,000 foot view. Now we're going to get a little more specific in addressing specific needs and challenges within the industry. Technology solution, abstract posters, and we have our virtual exhibit options. Many of or I shouldn't say many, several of our key sponsors and exhibitors have asked about virtual opportunities. We'll get to our virtual platform and its services at the end, but those that want to participate, we've created these sort of booth structures where we can have a virtual exhibitor, and we put these in the innovation zone because we feel it's much more effective than having it that kiosk sit in someone's booth. They tend to walk by the booths if there isn't someone engaging them. So let's put it in the innovation zone. We're going to be front and forward. We designed these abstract posters as a result or as a result for exhibitors saying, I hate when people miss me. I want to get my message out, but I'm afraid people will miss my key innovations and my solutions. Each exhibitor will have the opportunity to highlight themselves in the abstract poster session. One thing that we really, really designed this innovation zone around was the speakers getting back to us and saying, we love the TED Talk style, but we hate when we get the hook and we get pulled off the stage and I'm in the middle of either trying to close a deal or solve a problem. So we've accounted for that and allowed, after we give them the hook, we send them over to the corners where they can continue those conversations and dive deeper into their solutions. So we don't want to give a speaker stop in mid-sentence, but we want to make sure that we're adhering to the times, the time allotment given to them. We have a career development center that started off with a profile photo was the object. We stuck 2 sticks of dynamite in the bottom of that profile photo. We blew it up. What else can we do to raise the bar? What can we do that other events don't do? Let's call this a career development center where we're taking profile photos and then we're taking those photos and we're applying them to a resume. What are the best practices in a resume? Who's our subject matter expert in that area? Let's learn from them. And what can we do? I have a brand new photo. Now let's make my resume look and feel better than it's ever been. Same with LinkedIn. It's a powerful tool in the industry, powerful business tool. Let's add our profile photo that's just taken. It's just gorgeous. Liz, you're going to be just beautiful pictures. And we're going to upload all the best practices on how to highlight yourself. What keywords should you use? How do you present your resume to be as attractive as possible for future employers, or just making sure that you're tracking all of your continued learning? We're going to empower the advocates here, not only for their existing jobs. How can they be better? What's missing? How do I advance my own career? This isn't necessarily a resume swap, as it is also career development so that you're becoming a better employee for your current employer. So we're addressing all those needs and really taking off our career development center. Excited about this space.
And Eric, I'll touch on that. And that was a
Yeah.
great comment to make, is that we're developing those for their own employers, their current employers. But one of the things not known to everyone in this healthcare space is that there are additional opportunities, such as advisory boards and things like that, which require an updated resume. So it's keeping everybody's skills fresh, and also kind of shedding a new light on new trends, what's important on resumes right now. So it's a great opportunity there.
Yeah, thank you. A great point. And it really is maybe what's missing and where do I need to go? Do I need to get a designated certification? CEUs, maybe they're more important than I thought they were. So that's a great point.
Absolutely.
This was a coffee urn on a table that we put 2 sticks of dynamite underneath, and we blew this up too. We said, what do you not like about coffee urns? Well, I don't like that it's boring. We don't like that it just sits there and it gets sponsored and there's no ROI. Okay, so as a sponsor opportunity, what a cool activation. We stole this idea from Disneyland, and they have the stanchions and ropes now. Now they can brainwash you, give you a message. They do this at the Las Vegas airport too. They got these video monitors going on, sending out a particular message. So a sponsor could put their messaging, their content up on here while I'm waiting in line for my cappuccino. We also have what looks like a coffee table, but is really a stage. And this 4x8 stage is an opportunity, again, networking. Let's do problem solving, collaborative learning. I want to get up on this stage and I want to ask these people a question. And I want to say, does anyone else have this challenge? Is anyone else going through this in your life? Because I am going through this. And what are you doing to make a difference? Let's make this collaborative. Let's make this fun. Whoever thought having coffee would be fun? We did. And so we've brought this solution to the Healthcare Advocate Summit, and we're excited to collaborate and make this really interactive. I got a shameless sponsorship plug, Liz. I have to do it. Okay. People have said to me, people have said to me, gosh, it seems so affordable. Is it too good to be true? We have to be affordable. It's a first time event. We have to be competitive, more competitive, because generating revenue isn't not our number one goal. Solving the problems of the healthcare advocates and empowering healthcare advocates, making them more valuable, is the true number one goal. So we've got sponsorship opportunities that range from $2,000 to $75,000. And at the end, I'll give you my phone number and my email address, Liz, and you can call me if you want to buy one of these sponsorships so we can walk through it. Every single one I've done so far has been customized by what I want to do. What are my goals? We do deep discoveries. We don't just dump a booth on someone and walk away. We want to understand what your goals are and how we can get you there. So we would love to talk with you further about this. We've got a really cool awards ceremony on the end of Friday afternoon that we think is spectacular. We are reaching out to our audience saying, who would you like to nominate and why? We, being a first-time event, these are yet to be defined, what the awards actually are. We're reaching out to the community now. What would you like to see a recognition and what kind of awards? The power of recognition is absolutely essential in empowering advocates and making them more excited about what they do and the problems that they solve. Awards and recognition are just critically important. So we welcome feedback for awards and recognition. We welcome you to obviously attend and submit for nominations and for awards. We're excited about the program.
We'll work on the submissions and the award stuff probably later this summer. I don't know an exact date, because we need ample time to review nominees. But I think that's going to be one of the fun parts of this planning process, is that we get to see how many wonderful people are out there and those that support them. So I'm really looking forward to that part of it.
It's going to be terrific. I'm really excited about it. That is a really fun project. That and the reception parties. We got 2 reception parties, and we did a site visit in Galveston a few weeks ago, and it's going to be fantastic, really exciting. I want to talk a little bit about our hybrid event. In 2020, virtual replaced live events. And as we pivot again in 21 and 22, we're looking at defining what a hybrid event is. Our definition of a hybrid event is a virtual platform that will launch very soon, within the next couple of months, that will be a springboard to the live event. So everything that we're addressing, the Career Development Center, the Innovation Zone, all the things that we have, the keynote sessions, everything we have at the live event will also be represented virtually. What I don't like about virtual events so far in the feedback that we've gotten is I don't want to sit there and stare at a second monitor for 2 days and get 2 people that might check in. So what we're going to do is we're going to extend the life of our virtual event, our virtual platform over several months before the event, the month during the event, and then we'll probably put it down, sometime in the beginning of October. But the idea is go to the event, go to the exhibit floor, find someone you're interested in talking to, and schedule a meeting. Schedule a meeting before the event via Zoom. Schedule a meeting because you both live in Washington, D.C. Schedule an event at the conference. But let's reduce the amount of downtime and increase the amount of actual discussion time, which is really key here. It's going to have our keynote sessions. We intend on live streaming if technology allows itself. We will absolutely be recording all sessions and having them on our virtual platform following the event or immediately after those sessions. The TED Talk style sessions in the Innovation Zone specifically will all be available on our virtual platform. So excited to talk about more detail if anyone has some questions around that. But more importantly, I'm a live events guy. I'm going to sound like a Seinfeld episode when I say my father was doing it, my mother was in it, my grandfather was in it, all in the events business. My brothers are in it, my sister's in it. Everyone loves the power of live events. And I believe full-heartedly in the purpose and the passion and the call to action and the aha moments that happen at the live events just can't be replaced. So I'm a big fan of live events, and we would certainly love having all of our viewers today and their mothers and their fathers all at our event. And with that, I see some questions popping up. Liz, I don't know if you can see those. I'm going to address those, but I'll leave this contact information. Anyone that wants this deck, I'm sure we can make it available to them, and I'd be happy to send it to you. You can jot down mine or screenshot me.
No questions yet, but we got this sounds amazing. So thank you, Shara, for that. Barbara stated that it's a great cozy layout when we're talking about the Innovation Zone and those kind of things. And then, yeah, we've got some excited attendees. So I know when we made this deck, it said 300 attendees, but I think we've broken that number, and I think we're climbing.
Yes.
So
yes, we have. That was a typo.
We're really looking. Yeah. Hey, we've grown. One question came in: are masks required?
Currently, in the state of Texas, they are not required. We did a site visit there 3 weeks ago. The people working in the convention center, working within the hotels, were all still wearing masks. Given our industry is healthcare related, we are going in with the assumption that a lot of people will have received the vaccination. I think we'll make those ultimate decisions 30 days before the event, whether it's going to be required or not. I would say as a precaution that we would attend this event moving forward, that we would recommend masks, but not being mandatory. Is that safe to say, Liz?
Yes, we'll all follow all CDC guidelines, all state recommendations, and ultimately it comes down to comfort and choice, but we will follow to the highest degree what is recommended at that time. So things are changing so rapidly. That's kind of a wait and see kind of thing. Another question, Eric, what about travel from the airport to the event?
Oh my gosh, Liz, it's going to be so much fun. We've already, we had a lot of priorities when we were in Galveston a few weeks ago, and one of them was, can we drink on the bus? And they approved it. So we were going to have a shuttle bus available all day, every hour. We're running shuttles from both airports Bush International and from Hobby airports, on the hour, every hour, shuttle bus transportation being provided for everyone.
And I will personally attest that Eric did personally check out each and every bus that will be transporting us. So, and the seats were comfortable. He made sure to check that part for
the
us
bounce
all.
test. Yeah, it was very comfortable.
Next question. What if I can't commit to the live event now? Are there options to do virtual and switch to live if we can then come?
Thought my dog was going to bark. Yes, absolutely. I call it the parachute. And we've been putting together packages. I mentioned every sponsor and every exhibitor we've engaged with so far has been a custom package based on what their goals are. Some have had that challenge. Two or three of the folks I've spoken to recently have said, hey, I want to be live, but our restrictions are holding us back as of today. Great. Let's build a package or a sponsorship opportunity, exhibit opportunity that is virtual in nature. And then as you get closer, you can pull that parachute into the live event and everything transposes into live solutions. So for example, I have a virtual booth. I have a presence in one of our webinar series presenting. I have the kiosk of the Innovation Zone that I can exhibit remotely from. Great, signed and sealed, you're in. We get closer to the date, 30 days out. Hey, I'm approved to travel. We pull the parachute. Now your exhibit is live in a booth. Your presentations in the Innovation Zone, your networking opportunities, your passes are included. So we convert that investment into whatever fits for you. It's not the easiest thing, but as you mentioned before, things are changing so quickly. We're here to accommodate everyone's need and just want participation at this point.
And one of the things that we're looking at doing and is high priority for us would be to have the colored bracelets with your different comfort levels of, are you up for a handshake, an elbow bump, a wave from across the room? So we will be utilizing that so that people can express their comfort without it being uncomfortable or dramatic. I know we're all from different states and different rules. So we're trying to make it as friendly to the advocates and what that looks like as far as your healthcare and your concerns. Eric, one question that's really important is how much is it to attend this event, specifically for advocates and looking at pharma and other organizations?
Correct me if I'm wrong. I think we're at $149 is our advocate rate, and it's super
Correct.
affordable. It's we priced it there because we want to incentivize everyone to get there. We priced it competitively because we want to prove the necessity and the essence of this particular event and how important it is. $14.99, I believe, is our registration fee for other participants as well. Is that correct, Liz? Okay.
And then at one point we had some information, and we've updated that information since, but we do have a resource guide that if you are having trouble with your employer or your organization and would like justification on why you should attend, we did have a justification toolkit. And with transport to the airport covered, or transport to the hotel, sorry, from the airport covered, cost of the event being $149, really trying to keep things moving and affordable. What about the hotel? Is there a discount for the hotel?
The hotel is discounted on the website, healthcare or advocatesummit.com, healthcareadvocatesummit.com. You'll there's links to the hotels for competitive rates. And we even have rates extended through the weekend. If you decide to stay past Friday, want to leave Saturday or leave Sunday, we've negotiated with the hotels and they're going to extend rates with particular deadlines involved there.
I'm staying for like 10 days at this point. So I'm going to take advantage of that weekend rate. A question came in. Have any payers expressed interest in coming? And if so, how many?
I don't think I have the exact number of payers, but we've had interest level across the board, really from everyone within the industry that are looking.
I think it's a missing demographic. I would love to have more payers come. I won't do the icebreaker of tell me which one you've held on the phone with the longest to call anyone out, but I think it's a great opportunity for them to hear from those that that do that. Oh, someone said, is Blue Cross Blue Shield coming? We
No,
are
but if you know
talking,
somebody, I'll call them.
yeah, I would, which state, which one? Let's have them all, right? Let's just have the association come.
One other
Tennessee. Okay.
one
I hear
other
you about
point,
that one, April.
one other point, Liz, I wanted to throw in was we have a terrific scholarship program for those that can attend. That I believe it was $2,500 as a scholarship, all in, hotel, airfare, passes, everything in. You can sponsor an advocate if you know someone that would really like to attend.
Yes. And to touch kind of on the payers, we are in talks with Medicare. I think CMS is an important representation there, since there are so many complicating pieces and moving parts, that I think would be really helpful. So in the chat, if you go there, there's a link to registration prices. And on our website, you can find information about the hotel and things like that.
Fantastic. I can't wait to go.
I think it's going to be fantastic. So again, there's some links in the chat. Please go check that out. We are really looking forward to this. Again, Eric, if you have someone who's interested in sponsorship, general questions, what some of that stuff looks like, please feel free to reach out to Eric. And then if it comes to education, if we're missing maybe a CEU type that we're not considering, please reach out to me. I'd love to make sure we accommodate, or at least try to accommodate, this year one. If not, we'll plan for year two. These conferences do take time to plan, and maybe at the last minute we can't do it, but going forward, I'd be very interested in doing that. So if you can, chat with us, that'd be great. We again, thank you everyone for your time tonight. Eric, I'll pass to you for closing.
Thanks. Yeah, you got the information in front of you. Reach out if you have additional questions or want data from us. Liz, I think the most important thing I can leave with is letting our audience know, whether they're sponsors or attendees that want to attend. We're raising the bar across the field. We're doing things differently because we think that they need to be done. You can't have an event that you had in 2019 same as last year. We didn't have a last year. This is our inaugural event. So this is our big chance to do things completely differently. That's the advantage of being a first-time event, is there's nothing to be comfortable about going back to a year ago. For the sponsors and exhibitors that we've engaged with so far, I love helping people with their engagements. I love bringing their brands to life. So reach out. Again, we're not just going to dump a booth on you. We want your booth to be successful. We want you to have tangible ROI that you can go back with and move the ball down the field, so to speak. So I welcome any calls or comments, or if you need help. I need help. I'm here. Happy to do it. Thanks for coming, and thanks for watching.
Thanks, everyone.